This is an episode of the daily tech news. I might have to change it to weekly tech news, but I was going to do one of these daily, but I haven't done one in about a week, so I might change it up. But where we cover the latest Android news and headlines, or mobile technology news and headlines. I have, let's see, I believe one, two, three pieces of tech news for you. And they're pretty good stories. I usually take the biggest stories of the day and compile them into a video. But these are some of the bigger stories that caught my attention, right? Um, so let's get into it. As I stay busy here, if you're not subscribed to the channel, before we get started, hang on. I have a giveaway here. We are running the CMF Watch Pro. We are running a giveaway. If you go to esimstudios.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see the entry for this. It's a review unit. It's brand new. I factory resetted it, cleaned it, and you get the charger, everything that's in the box. But the contest ends on, I think, in about 8 or 9 days. So on Christmas Eve. This ends on Christmas Eve. So if you want to enter, you have a great chance of winning this. It's about $100 value, and I'll ship it to you free if you're inside the United States. And the only stipulation is you have to be a subscriber to this YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button, and then simply go to the link to our eSIM Studios website in our description box below. Simply click the link to our eSIM Studios website, and then, like I said, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you will see the entry form for this. Okay, we got a lot of reviews coming. I got new Galaxy Buds being delivered today. I'm going to review. I have a portable AMOLED monitor that I've been using for about a week that I got to review. I have more cases that I got to review, so very, very busy schedule. But let's get into the news. So let me share the screen here. There's been a lot of talk, at least online chatter, in regards to this new or rumored mid-range device that nothing is going to put out. That's the rumor, and they've not made any announcement. However, we did report on this, the rumor, last week, that nothing is planning on making a phone 2A, similar to how Google does their A series for their Pixel, right? You have the Pixel 7A this year. This year, and then next year they'll release the Pixel 8A. So it's basically a Pixel device that looks very similar, same software experience as your flagship Pixel. It just has a little watered down specs, right? Well, the Nothing company is planning on putting out a Nothing Phone 2A, which would, I guess, theoretically be similar to this, just with watered down specs. We did get some news here that's kind of surprising, right? Because here's the one thing I was like, well, if they make it cheap, and we do know some of the specs. I reported on that, like I said, last week, and I'll briefly go over them. But I was wondering, are they going to keep the iconic see-through back? Because it wouldn't be a Nothing phone without the clear see-through back. That's just a fact. That's the staple of their line. Even with their earbuds, you get the see-through earbuds, all that good stuff. So wouldn't be a Nothing phone without the see-through back. So that's what I was wondering. Is it still going to have the see-through back? It appears they are, with a catch. Now, the Pixel 7A, well, I guess the upcoming Pixel 8A will look nearly identical to this. Same design language with the camera bar horizontally, and then you have a cutout where your sensors are right here, obviously, right? So the 8A would look fairly similar to this, just with a little watered down specs. So that's what I was wondering. Is the phone 2A going to look like this with just watered down specs? and it looks like we got a little more clarity. The same person that put out the rumor that they were making the 2A, and there are documented evidence of internal documents from Nothing showing that they're planning on making a watered down version of this. But I was wondering, are the sensors going to be the same, or is the back going to be clear? Well, it looks like we got a little clarity on that. Speaking of clear, let me share the screen. But a little surprising news, right? So check this out. The Nothing Phone 2A could have a Galaxy S10 inspiration. The apparent cheaper Nothing phone could look like a cross between the Nothing Phone 2 and the Galaxy S10. Do y'all remember what the Galaxy S10 looks like? And actually, you could say the Pixel drew inspiration from the S10, because the Samsung Galaxy S10 wasn't the very first phone with a horizontal camera setup. LG's had a couple devices. I think Motorola has had and possibly Nokia has had horizontal camera sensors. But Samsung was the first very popular device that was widely purchased worldwide with the horizontal camera setup. So let's look at the S10 for those of y'all that don't remember. If you just Google S10, the pickup truck pops up. That happened to me the last couple of days, just doing research, because there's I think the Chevy S10's a pickup. Okay, so look, let me share this tab instead. So here's what the Galaxy S10 looks like. Images. Y'all remember this? It's the horizontal camera setup. Again, very similar to this. So that makes you wonder, right? So how would the Nothing Phone 2A look like? We know, right here. It has the horizontal camera bar setup right on the back. Again, very similar to this Pixel 8 Pro, or the Pixel line series period from now, have the horizontal bar. Just Samsung was the first company to make that very popular, recognizable. So getting back to this, we do know the phone 2A is going to have a 6.7-inch AMOLED display. But going back to the A series for Google, nothing's gonna do an A series, but it's not gonna follow the same foundation as Google. Google's A series are smaller, and the specs are quite watered down, which is kind of a head scratcher for Nothing, because if you look at the specs for the upcoming 2A, very, very similar to their current flagship device. It's going to have a 6.7-inch full HD, I think it's HD plus, 1080p plus AMOLED display. This is a 6.7-inch full HD 1080p plus AMOLED display. Now, this has LTPO, where the refresh rate goes down almost, it goes down very low to help save battery life when you're not using the device. But when your screen is on, right? So I think this new phone 2A is not going to have an LTPO display, because they have to cut costs somewhere. They have to save money somewhere. And let me show you the specs here. Okay, that's the gray version. So it says the S10 will get it says the phone 2A will get a Galaxy S10-like rear camera design. Otherwise, the phone is said to borrow design elements from the Nothing Phone 1 and 2. So what's similar between the phone 1 and the phone 2? It's got a flat front display, flat back display, and it's flat around the sides. So I expect the 2A to have that same design language. It has a clear back. I expect the 2A to have the same design language. Now, let me see if I can pull the specs from the leaked document. Oh, there you go. There's a nice, ooh, that red looks good. Okay, here we go. The phone 2A is going to have a 6.7-inch 120 hertz OLED screen. Same as this. This one just has LTPO. The phone 2A is said to have a 50 megapixel dual camera setup. This has a 50 megapixel dual camera setup. It's going to have a 4900 milliamp per hour battery. I believe this one's right around the same, 4900, maybe 5000 milliamp battery. So where do they cut the costs? Probably like most companies do, and probably in the UFS storage department. It might not have wireless charging. The selfie camera might be a little worse, or lower resolution. So I'm really anticipating this device. I want to see where they price it at, because if it's going to share similar specs with this, I think this one was right at about $712. Now, this is the 12 gig 256 storage variant. Storage has not come out, or leaks have not come out on the storage for this phone 2A. I'm hoping they'll probably do an 8 gig 128 base. I'm hoping they have a 12 gig 256, or at least probably 12 256, which then kind of defeats the whole purpose, right, of having a cheaper watered down phone, because it's like, well, if you're going to have the same specs as this, then why would you buy this if it's priced more, right? Just buy the 2A. So I'm very interested to see where they take this, where they cut their costs, and at what price point they're going to introduce it to the market, because it's going to be up against some very, very stiff competition in the Google Pixel A series. I believe the 7A starts at, I think it's $499. The Pixel 8A is just a few months away. That's going to be badass and probably start right around $499. So it's going to have very stiff competition, but I do have faith in nothing. I do have faith in Carl Pei. This device had a rocky start with me, and 6 months later, it's like my favorite phone. I can't stop using it. I've been meaning to put my SIM card out of here and back into my Pixel for like the last week, and I don't want to put this thing down. I love it. So I will keep you updated, and as soon as we get leaks and more information, I will certainly make a video about it and tell you about it. Now, let's get into our next topic. All right, our next topic has to do with location tracking. Yes, location tracking. And I wanted to, let's see, hang on with me. I lost my page here. There we go. I got it. Okay. Google announces, it was yesterday, that they are not going to store your location history anymore. However, there's a catch. This is not automatic. Automatically, they're going to keep on tracking you. However, you have to go in, and I'll show you how to do it. You have to go into your Google Maps application, either on your device or on the desktop, on your PC or laptop. I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it for my laptop, but the instructions where you go is the exact same on your phone. But it makes me wonder, are they really, because that kind of goes back on how they make money, or part of the way they make money, right? So Google, a large majority of their revenue is advertisement based, right? Companies wanting to advertise to people like you and me. They track your location. They know where you're at, where you've been, and then they use that data to basically know what ads or what classification of ads to push to you when you're scrolling on the internet or web browsing, right? Or even in apps. So that kind of goes against how they personalize advertisements to you. Now, there's been a lot of pushback on not only Google, but Apple as well to basically not track us or try to use the least amount of our personal data as possible, right? Um, it says Google Maps is getting a major privacy overhaul, giving users more control over their data and location history. As their recent announcement, the tech major is making major changes to how it controls user data. Starting now, users will have the right to opt out of sharing their location history. It is turned off by default, but enabling it meant Google could store your details about your visits and their timestamps on its servers. However, Google will soon phase it out, giving users greater control of their privacy. Now, I'm not sure if the person in this article who wrote this, it's turned off by default. I could have sworn it's turned on by default. It has become, we'll check. It has become a major privacy concern. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, geofence warrants. These geofence warrants, quote unquote, required the tech company to share their location history data or a Google user's location history data with local and federal authorities. Forbes reported that the new update will affect geofence warrants. Starting soon, Google will automatically delete location history data for new users every 3 months, as opposed to the current 18-month default. This adds an extra layer of control, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's see. And also wanted to note this. It says Google's updated privacy policy specifies that it will store data locally rather than on the company's servers. So I'm assuming that means it would store it if you chose to track your location. It would store it on device. It says, notably, even when the users chose to back up their location data, Google will encrypt the data to ensure that neither they nor anyone else, i.e. the government, accesses it. It will roll out next year for both Android and iOS users. I'm assuming that'll just come in a Google Maps app update. Now, real quick, as far as, and I'll show you how to do it in a second. Google's updated policy affects geofence warrants. It says, Google's upcoming change could potentially block a controversial surveillance technique used by police and federal government called geo-warrants. An unnamed company executive confirmed to Forbes. These warrants allow authorities to gather location data from Google Maps users near crime scenes, raising privacy concerns. With location data now stored on device or encrypted, Google won't be able to comply with these warrants, potentially hindering investigations. Nevertheless, it's a major win for privacy advocates. Look, whether you're guilty of a crime or not, I know the federal government and especially local government rely on this heavily, especially the FBI. They are quick. I saw a number, I think it wasn't last year, it was probably like 6 or 7 months ago. It was before the summer hit. Anyways, I remember seeing in a report how many, because when the FBI is investigating you, sorry, I could have said me, but I'm going to put it on you. Let's say the FBI was investigating you to look at and examine your location history, right? If there was a crime committed, they can't they need to access the data, right? So what they do is they go to a federal judge and request they basically have to send a request in to Google. Now, Google has their own department in the company just for receiving and executing or even seeing if they can do it. But they do have a division inside of Google that's all they do is they intake the government's warrant request or location history requests. That report that I'm talking about 6 or 7 months ago said that there was like 24,000 requests per day for people in their information. That's insane. Now, this would hinder that. And I encourage, look, whether you're straight as an arrow or you're doing some funny business on the side, I would go in there and turn it off. I'm not, big conspiracy theorist. I'm not real big on that. I do believe some, but I'm not real big on that stuff. However, and look, this is up to you. It's everybody's personal opinion. It's your information. So you do with it what you think is the best idea. If you ask me, I'm telling everybody turn it off. I don't care if obviously I use Google Maps daily. Now, I don't mind it tracking me in real time, right? Because I need GPS. I need to know where stuff is. Sometimes when you're out of the house, you want to know what's around you. If you're hungry, go get something to eat. Where's the nearest Starbucks? Blah, 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 blah. So real time, I don't care. But previous location history, stuff that's in the past, yeah, I don't want them to store that. I don't want anybody to have that information. For one thing, it's useless. I mean, I don't do anything that, wrong, but that's not the point. All I need is real time location, and anything after that, delete it. So let's show you how you can do that. Let me change my screen here. I have Google Maps pulled up. So now again, you can do this on your phone. Actually, let me pull this up. So what you're going to do is open up your Google Maps. Or if you get on your desktop, go to your desktop. So you got Google Maps pulled up, right? So what you're going to do is go to the menu. Now, menu on desktop is the 3-bar menu. The menu on the application on your phone is your icon picture. So simply on your phone, just touch your icon picture, or on desktop, choose the 3-layered menu. And then you're going to find your data in Maps. That's on desktop and on the mobile phone application. Your data in Maps. So I got it pulled up here. And I also have it pulled up on my phone. So once you go to your data in Maps, you scroll a little bit down, right? And it shows location history. Now, mine is on, right? So here's what you're going to do. What you're going to do is simply tap on that side arrow and choose to turn it off. Now, look, check this out. You have two options. You can turn it off, or you can turn it off and delete activity or history. So you can turn it off and it won't track you or store your location history from here on out, or you can turn it off and delete all previous location history. So what I'm going to do is turn it off and delete activity. So it says timeline is off. Okay. Deleting now. Hit OK. Delete. Deletion complete. Now, if you want to learn how your activity is deleted, the link is right here. I'm not going to click on it because I'm trying to keep the video short. But that's pretty easy. Now, again, I trust you, Google, that you're going to delete it and it'll be gone, right? So let's see if there's anything else you can modify here. Backup, not backing up data. Auto delete, you have no activity to delete. It's that easy. So let's see what else we have in any of these other ones. Now, if you actually go into activity controls from the previous page right here, and you scroll to see all the activity controls, auto delete. Choose an auto delete option. That's Chrome history. Okay, I need maps. Where are we at? Maps. Here's where you can set auto delete. Choose an auto delete option for your web and app activity. Now, the Google Maps falls into this right here. So this is where you can put in, remember where it said they're going to switch it to a 3-month auto deletion and not an 18-month auto deletion. Now, I have don't store location history at all enabled. But if you have it disabled and you do want to store some location history, you can toggle between 3 months, 18 months, and 36 months, as you can tell right here. But I'm going to keep mine off. And just simply go through this. Preference save. Okay. And that's it. No more location history. Deleted. Gone. So you can do that again through your Maps application on your phone, on iPhone, on iOS, or Android, right? Because they still track location history if you're using Google Maps on an iPhone, on an iPad, even a MacBook if you pull up Google Apps on there. So just a nice little extra. I like to inform people of things like this because it's important to me. So I'm assuming if it's important to me, hopefully it'll be important to some of y'all out there as well. So let's get into the third and final topic, and it does have something to do with, you guessed who, Google. So if you are like me, somebody that, and I'm sure you are, right? You're obviously watching this video, that takes an interest in technology, and you like to tinker around with stuff and fix stuff here and there if it's fixable. Because for me personally, like even around the house, if I can fix something like say a gutter or a shingle on the roof, just one, I'm not doing the whole roof, or fixing a desk, anything that I can possibly do to fix it, I'm going to do it. But if it's too hard of a task or far too difficult, I'll probably pay somebody to do that, or like even on your car, right? Fix little things here and there. Light bulb, I'm not going to take it to get a light bulb fixed. I'm going to do it myself. But getting back to fixing things and tinkering with stuff, Google just put out for their Pixel devices a really, really cool diagnostic tool. Now they call it an app. I guess it is technically, but it's not an app in your app drawer. You actually have to go to your phone app, yes, and dial a certain code. I'll put that code in the description box. And it pulls up like a hidden app, a diagnostic app that basically can scan and detect and tell if there's any issues whatsoever with your phone. Not only software wise, but hardware wise as well. Really cool. It's not only for the Pixel 8 Pro and the Pixel 8, it's for all Pixels. Now, I guess I shouldn't say all Pixels, but it's available for Pixels that are still currently getting software updates, right? So, and I think it was enabled. I'll pull up the information here in a second, but I believe it was enabled with the latest December software update, security patch, and feature drop. Because this is just popping up out of nowhere. But I was playing around with it earlier, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to make a video about this. This is so cool, because if you think you have an issue with your phone, like don't like I would want to, figure it out myself. And with this diagnostic app or diagnostic tool, it'll definitely locate and pinpoint the issue. And then you can decide whether or not you can actually go as far as ordering the parts from Ubreak iFix. They ship it to your house with a little repair kit, little screwdrivers, and a pry tool and everything. And you can fix your own phone if you want to. Or if you don't want to, you can take the report to Ubreak iFix and they can fix it. Now, they have partnered with Ubreak iFix to, I guess, be the authorized dealer for Pixel repairs. So if you order parts to repair it yourself, or if you take your phone to them, the parts they're getting and or using are Google OEM parts for your Pixel. It's not some janky, like if you crack your display, right? You're not going to get some janky AMOLED display from Alibaba or AliExpress or from China. It's going to be from, well, I guess it's from Samsung, but it'll be a Google part. It'll actually have a part number. So when you put it together, everything's going to work fine. Thank God Google's not as being a big of a dickhead as Apple is, because if you can put third-party parts on here and it worked just fine. Apple, on the other hand, if you put a third-party display on an Apple iPhone, your freaking Face ID won't work. So it's another story with them. But let me show you this real quick, and I'm gonna share the screen. But here in just a second, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the camera angle, and I'll show you how to access this diagnostic tool on here. So instead of looking at me, we're going to be looking at the phone. But let me show you this. Okay. Damn ads, man. All right, so God, they're everywhere. Google's new diagnostic app and repair guides make fixing Pixels a breeze. That's the other thing. It has repair guides. So it'll tell you not only, check this out, it'll show you, let's say, what could we say? Your proximity sensor is not working. And you go through the diagnostic setup or testing on here. And it'll tell you it'll run tests. It'll tell you your proximity sensor is not working or inoperable. It'll give you warranty information if it's covered under warranty and help you go through that. Or if it's not covered under warranty, it will tell you these are the parts you need. You can order it, and here's the repair guide. Or you can take this report and go to Ubreak iFix. It'll already tell them what the problem is and what part it needs, and then they just do the manual labor, the repair. So this is super cool. I used to work at Sprint. It was a while ago, but I did work at Sprint. And now I wasn't on the floor, was not a sales rep. Do y'all remember when these Sprint stores? I think not all of them had it, but it was a certain number of authorized Sprint stores had the repair centers where you could actually go take your phone and they would fix it. Well, that's what I did. So, and not only that, but I've used to, not anymore, fix and repair phones as a hobby. So this stuff is right up my alley. I love this stuff. It says Google has introduced a new diagnostic app that helps identify Pixel phone issues before sending your device for repair and confirms everything is working properly after. The diagnostic app is available for all Pixel devices in the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and wherever Pixel devices are sold. That includes Japan. Google also now offers a DIY do-it-yourself repair manuals for Pixel devices, making it easier for users to fix their phones themselves. Thank you. I wish all companies would do this. When you're shipping off your Pixel 8 Pro for a fix, the last thing you want, okay, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Yes, they also implemented a maintenance mode. Samsung has had this, and I've loved that about Samsung. If you have cracked your screen and you need to go take your phone into a repair shop for them to replace your screen, you can put it in maintenance mode, so that it'll basically just it gives the repair person like a watered down home screen where they can still run tests and stuff, but none of your personal apps, none of your personal data information, none of your pictures, videos, anything is accessible to the user while it's in maintenance mode. It's been on Samsung for like the last few years. I love it. They just introduced it on this Pixel, so it's available maintenance mode on your Pixel now as well. So they're getting a lot better in the repair department. It says you need to be connected to Wi-Fi because they run the data to and from their servers to also help run testing and stuff like that. And also, if you do need a repair manual, I don't think the data is stored locally. I think once they say, like, you find out it is the proximity sensor, I think they would download that user data or the repair guide to your phone through the internet. So you do need Wi-Fi. You don't need Wi-Fi to access the data, to access the Diagnostic App, but you will need Wi-Fi or internet to run some of the testing on there. Okay, so let's see. Let me go ahead and let's get into it. And I think that's all the information. It says if you want repair manuals, you can download them from Google's website as well. They're currently rolling out for the Pixel Fold, Pixel 8, and Pixel 8 Pro. Google plans to drop manuals or release manuals for previous and upcoming devices in the next few months. So it sounds like, look, if you have, let's say, a Pixel 7a or a Pixel 7 Pro, you can still access this Diagnostic App on here. Make sure, but only if you've updated your phone to the December security patch. But if you need a manual, repair manual for the Pixel 7a or 7 Pro, probably gonna have to wait a few months as they're releasing those. But they do have available repair manuals for download and for viewing for the Pixel Fold, the Pixel 8, and the Pixel Pro. All right, enough talk. Let's switch the camera around and let's jump into this Diagnostic App, right? All right, let's do it. What you're going to do is, to access this app, you're going to need to go to the phone app. So it's not going to be an app in your drawer, right? It's not going to be in here. It's like a secret app you have to access. So what you're going to do, let me cover some of the screen because I have contact information on there. Sorry. Go to dialer. So go to your dialer, right? So go to your phone app, and you're going to dial somebody's phone number. And what you're going to do is push this code in, and I will put the code down in the description box of the video. What you're going to do is you're going to type, Jesus Christ, you're going to type *## 7287 ##*. Boom. Then you get this screen. It says, Pixel Diagnostics, please make sure you have a reliable Wi-Fi connection before proceeding. And obviously you can tell up top I do. So we're going to confirm. And here you go. Here is the accessible, basically. Oh, here's also a good thing. If you're interested in purchasing a Pixel in the future, say next year you're going to get your daughter that's turning 13 years old, you're going to go to her first phone, which might seem a little old by now for a first phone. I think I was 18 when I got my first phone. Golly. So if you go purchase a device, any Pixel device, make sure you run a full diagnose. You see up top where it says full diagnose. You can basically run a full test on this device by hitting start test, and it checks everything on the phone, everything. So this way, when you purchase a device, say, before you give the person the money, whether it's on OfferUp, you meet somebody in person, or you go to a cell phone store, say, let me check the phone out first. Type in that code that I just did in the dialer, and run a full test on it so you can know if the device you're buying is legit. Now, before we do anything, let's go to the three-dot menu and see what we got. So you have About, QR code, and Result Viewer. So About basically gives you, I guess technically it is an app, but it's just not in your app drawer. So you get your app version. Now, I've never even seen this in the Play Store, so I don't know how I guess it's a system app, obviously. I guess they update it behind the scenes, or probably gets updated with every month with a security patch, or not every month, but if it requires an update, they probably push it through the monthly update. What is this? QR code? No QR code due to incomplete testing. I haven't tested all that. I guess you can scan, once you do a test, you can scan a QR code and it gives you full results. Once you scan that, it'll give you a full report on the device, I'm assuming. And as you can tell, I don't have any results. I was messing around with it a little earlier before I hit record. So let's see. Visual. You can check, it'll check for physical damage, display defects, back glass defects, which is cool, and camera defects. You can check the sensors, light sensor, pressures, and P sensor. Barometer would be pressure. I'm not sure what that is. Barometer, gyroscope, accelerometer, magnet, the hell? Some of these words are cut off. And thermometer. Connectivity, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, NFC tag, GPS. Camera, your flash, your front camera, your rear cameras. And you can also check them in groups. Audio, your speakers, top speaker, microphone, your headset. Screen, touch panel, the backlighting, and the display. And then others. Wired charging, reverse wireless charging, your fingerprint sensor, wireless charging, your SIM slot, your vibration motor, and your buttons, I'm assuming right here. And then the last but not least, you can check for defects, other defects, and software defects. So what do you want to do? You want to do, let's check this group. So I guess it takes you through a bunch of this stuff. I'm going to pause the video so we don't sit here waiting for it to complete. So hang on. Okay, so I thought this was an automatic testing, but look. So you can actually, it allows you to touch everything on the screen here. All the pixels. And it gives you a countdown at the bottom, so I might not be able to complete it in time. It's like a game, right? Ah, I missed one square. All right, screw that. Let's do... shit. I don't want to do that. Let me back out of it. Let's do this. I'm going to run a full diagnosis on this device. So let's do this. Let's just start this. And then I'm going to pause the video. Let it confirm SIM card. I don't have a SIM card in here. No SIM. No physical damage. Any display defects? No. Any backlash defects? No. Camera defects? No. Okay, so I'm gonna run through this and I'll show you what the results look like. So I guess this is not 100% automatic. It is asking, it just tested the flash and now it's asking me, confirm the camera flash is okay. Are the lights on or off? Yes. It will take 2 pictures and videos for checking the camera. Start picture. Hi. Okay. Okay. Video. Okay. 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 So, as you can tell, it has you go through these. Now go into the rear picture camera. So I'm going to scroll through these and I'll come right back. And here we run through testing some other sensors. As you can tell, they get little check marks over there. Pretty nice, neat little tool they included here. Nice little surprise for people like myself or like you if you're one that likes to, like as I mentioned earlier, tinker with stuff and kind of just mess around with some of the cool stuff your technology devices around you can do. So I was trying to get to a point where I could get a that failed because I did not. It's a long story, but I was trying to get it to fail so I can get a report. Check that for y'all to see what that process is like. So let's see if those two failed on purpose. How do we go about fixing this thing, right? So let's say that failed. Right, I want it to fail. It wants me to cover the phone. Okay, so how do we go about getting... Oh, then you get your QR code. So those failed on purpose, so I can... Because if everything passed, it would check off A-OK, and it wouldn't give me a QR code. I wanted a QR code to test this. So let's scan it with one of my phones and we'll see what that does. I'm going through this for the first time, just like you all. All right, so I'm going to use the Nothing phone here. Let's scan the QR code and see what it does. Huh. Is that it? Oh, so I guess you can use a phone to copy the issue with it, and then you can go, I believe, on their website. Let's see. So this is what you get from the QR code. Proximity sensor failure, ambient light sensor failure. So I think you can take that, especially with these codes up here, T059 and then T060. I think you can copy and paste this into their website. Let's see. And then possibly order parts or... That's what I'm trying to find out right now. Let's see. What does this do? That uploads it or what? Where does it upload to? Okay, so then it'll go result viewer. Let's go to the proximity sensor. So how do you go about getting a manual? Hang on. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to put this link in the description box below. I'm going to move this camera off of the Pixel onto my monitor. You see where it says repair your own Pixel phone or Pixel tablet? I'm going to link this site in the description box, as I mentioned. In here, you got links. Walk-in and mail options for repair. And then also you can get genuine Google parts from iFixit, not YouBreak iFix. YouBreak iFix is only associated with Google to physically repair your device. The parts for your Pixel, they've they've collaborated with iFixit. I've ordered parts from them. Fantastic company. They offer genuine OEM parts for all mobile devices, and you can get it through them. But I want to find manuals. Here we go. User repair manuals, Pixel only. Right here. Now remember they said it's only Pixel Fold and Pixel 8 at the moment. All other Pixel devices. Now it includes Pixel 8, Pixel 8 Pro, and then Pixel Fold. Everything else they said they will upload them to this page here in the next few months. Let's see. Oh, sweet. Here's the repair manual. I'm going to put links to this. I'm going to download these for you. And I'm going to upload them to my cloud storage. And then the link I'll have in the description box. I'll either just link this page. I'll probably just do that. I'll probably just link this page and then put it in the description box. And then look, they got all this cool stuff on here. So you can go straight to here so you don't have to waste 5 minutes trying to find what you're looking for like I just did. But that'll do it for the Diagnostic App on the Pixel 8 Pro. And if you got any questions whatsoever, please ask me in the comment section. I also have my personal, I guess not personal, but contact information if you want to take the communication offline. That's fine as well. That's listed in the description box. So I do appreciate your time. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask. You're not bothering me. I actually enjoy communicating with you all. It's fun, right? It's mobile technology. It's what it's supposed to be about. Don't forget, you can win this. I'm giving it away for free. Go to esimstudios.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you will see the entry form for this. I'm shipping it free of charge to whoever the winner is if you're inside the United States, and you must be a subscriber to the eSIM Studios YouTube channel. It's the CMF Watch Pro, CMF, a sub-brand. The parent company is Nothing, who makes the Nothing Phone 2. Well, they make this nice looking fitness tracker, 2-week battery life. It's like 119 preset workouts in here. What does it do? Oxygen levels. Man, it does everything basically. Like I said, battery life for 2 weeks. So you get the box, the charger, the watch, everything that came with it, brand new. I factory reset it. I cleaned it. I just used it for a review unit, and now I'm giving it away. Contest ends Christmas Eve at midnight. So one lucky winner will get a Christmas present from eSIM Studios. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next video tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm going to review this Innocen monitor. See that portable monitor? Nice 15.6-inch AMOLED portable monitor. I have a new Galaxy Bud coming in the mail today that I'm going to test. Buds FE. I got cases over here I'm going to test. So we upload daily. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, because you're going to miss out, and you're not going to want to miss what we have coming up. Tons of technology-based content, and we upload daily. So thank you for joining us. Have a good rest of your afternoon, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.